Before we wrap, just want to ask one more question, because a lot of what everyone else learns from is other people's mistakes. Any mistakes you made or any things you do over that you can share with our audience that can potentially help them avoid those mistakes?
Yeah, you've just been flawless the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
No, I've lost lots of money, so invest with me. No, I've been fortunate. I started at the perfect time. I started in the middle of 2008 when the market had already crashed, and so it was hard for me to make too many mistakes between 2008 and 2000 today. I've been tremendously fortunate. I'd like to think that I've always focused on the fundamentals, and so, but we all make tons of mistakes. I would just like to think of mine as kind of smaller mistakes. So I've been fortunate in that sense. But the biggest mistake I'd say I ever made, and I talk about this a lot, is I never appreciated the idea of buy and hold. Or I shouldn't say I never. It took me 10 years to appreciate the idea of buy and hold. Over my career, I think we've flipped and sold 450 houses. And I look back and I realized that if I would have kept a third of those, my net worth would be $20 million higher right now. You don't realize that the value in real estate is that so you do get some natural appreciation. I'm not a big fan of natural appreciation. And over the last 100 years, real estate has appreciated on average about the pace of inflation. So you don't make a ton of money just holding real estate just from it appreciating, but you get benefit from, you get cash flow every year. You do have forced appreciation. All of us, well, not all of us, but many of us will take our properties and we'll improve them. And so we can increase the value just through doing smart renovations. We can increase the rent through doing smart renovations. Plus we get the tax benefits. And I think a lot of younger people, me up until the last few years, I never appreciated the tax benefits of my real estate. But I think if younger people started thinking more about the tax benefits, they'd realize that over the course of 10 or 20 or 30 years, you can literally make millions of dollars just by being smart with taxes. And then the biggest benefit with real estate is just this idea of we can use leverage. I can get a loan today and my tenants can pay down that loan. And literally I'm making 4, 5, 6, 7% per year in, it's not cash flow because I'm not actually getting the cash, but equity buildup, which is almost as good as cash flow because I can get it as soon as I sell or refinance. Like I'm making 5, 6, 7% per year just in my tenants paying down the principal on my loan. And so we look at the stock market and you see the stock market's making 8% over time. My real estate makes 5, 6, 7% just through loan pay down. You add on the tax benefits, you add on the appreciation, you add on the cash flow, and it's real easy for your real estate to make 12, 13, 14, 15%. And so what I recommend people think about is don't just think about the cash flow. Think about all the different aspects of making money in real estate, and consider that if you're going to flip houses, if you're going to buy 4, flip 3 and hold 1. Because the real value in real estate is that paying down of your principal over time, building equity. We don't want to be working 20 years from now, most of us. And so the way to avoid that is if you have to flip, hold a couple. And if you don't have to flip, then hold every one you buy, because that's what's really going to make you money long term. And I wish I would have realized that 10 years sooner.
Yeah, and to the whole point of what we talk about today, that 30-year fixed you have, or that long-term debt, no matter what inflation is doing right now, as long as you have fixed, that's not going up. Your mortgage will stay the same. So that's a way to protect that as well too.
Yeah, a year ago, I wrote a post on Facebook basically telling people the house is no longer the asset, the loan's the asset. And I would take out a 30-year fixed loan on basically anything. If you give me a 30-year fixed on my dog, I'd take out a 30-year fixed on my dog. It's the loan that I'm paying down in inflated dollars. That's the real asset. Even if the underlying asset, the house, isn't going up in value, the loan is still hedging inflation and beating inflation.